McCabe goes short out to the right hand side. Ball sent in very, very deep. Could be a chance here for Ireland. Falls to Denise O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan on the right hand side. Pulls it back to the edge of the area. Shot comes in, takes a deflection, and it's into the back of the net. And the Republic of Ireland lead in Sweden. And it is Captain Fantastic, Katie McCabe, who has scored it. What a moment for the girls in green. They lead Sweden by 1-0, and it is Katie McCabe from the edge of the area. The deflected shot, a huge, huge goal for Vera Pauw's side just before half-time. Sweden 0, Republic of Ireland 1, Katie McCabe. Well, it may not have ended up being a winning goal, but it was still a huge goal for the Republic of Ireland in that 1-1 draw with Sweden in Gothenburg in the World Cup qualifier on Tuesday evening. Sweden qualify for the World Cup, but it has put the Republic of Ireland in a brilliant position to qualify for a playoff, and I'm delighted to be joined on the line by one of the names that you heard there, setting up Katie McCabe for that goal for the Republic of Ireland. Denise O'Sullivan is on the line. Evening, Denise.
Hi Nathan, how are you?
I'm very well. That was quite a night on Tuesday. You're back in America already?
Yeah, I flew the next morning. We play in Orlando on Saturday, so I just flew straight here. So I'm spending a few nights myself, and the team will come tomorrow. So right back into it. I think I've been living out of a suitcase for 2.5 weeks now.
After a couple of weeks in camp, which I'm sure, no doubt, you love, and you love your teammates, as a couple of nights in a hotel room by yourself, away from everybody, a bit of peace and quiet, just what you need?
Yeah, it is. It's nice to just recover by yourself, so I'm enjoying it now until the team gets there.
Who do you generally room with on Ireland duty?
It kind of changes, to be honest. Louise Quinn, Grace Maloney, Savannah McCarthy, they're the usual. Probably Grace and Sab mostly, I would say.
You, judging by your TikTok, have a pretty good time when you're in camp.
Yeah, we do. We've a good crack, right? The girls are good fun.
Poor old Amber Barrett got a bad old doing, didn't she, last week? It's very harsh. You were doing you were going around to everybody in the squad asking who was the worst dressed, and was this pre-arranged for everybody to say Amber Barrett? I hope it was.
It wasn't pre-arranged to say Amber Barrett. No, that's the funny thing. It wasn't, but no, Amber took it very well. She actually loved the attention, to be honest.
It does all build together, though, that it's a squad who have spent a huge amount of time around each other over the past couple of months. It's a big squad as well that Vera Pauw usually brings together. It's 26, 27 players. There is a bond there now that you're bringing from camp onto the pitch that you need for a night like that against Sweden, where they're dominating possession. It felt like it was wave after wave of attack, yet it didn't feel like Ireland were always under massive pressure because of how solid you were, and everybody seemed to know exactly what their job was.
Yeah, I hope people can see that too. We're a close-knit team. We are very close, and we definitely bring that onto the pitch with us, so that's very important. I mean, it was backs to the wall for the full 90 minutes on Tuesday night against Sweden, but you can see the teamwork, you can see the determination from every single player that we wanted to get a result out of that, and I think that's what got us the point in the end.
What's your role on a night like Tuesday? Because you're, such a technically gifted player and such a creative player, and I guess going into the game, you're probably not going to get on the ball as much as you want. Do you mentally have to accept that it's a slightly different job you got to do on a night like Tuesday?
Yeah, definitely. There's games where I'm going to get on the ball a lot, and I love that. And then I know playing against the number 2 in the world that I'm going to get very few touches. So I do accept that, and that's something that's part of the game. But my role on Tuesday night was just to go out and honestly just give 100%. We knew what we were up against. Look, we have to give huge credit to Sweden. They're unbelievable side. So yeah, my role is just to go out and work hard, and I think bring that experience into the game as well, and just try to be a leader and encourage everyone on the night just to keep going. And I think every single person done that on the pitch, to be honest. Everyone was amazing, and credit to our defence, like they put their bodies in the line, and Courtney Brosnan in goal that's the best performance I've ever seen. She was unbelievable, and she kept us right in the game till the very end.
Yeah, it was a sensational goalkeeper performance, and you mentioned, you touched on Louise Quinn earlier. It was, I'd say, one of her best games in a green jersey as well. Was absolutely everywhere. How difficult is it to get on the ball as a midfielder in a game like that? Because the one thing that stood out, and it's easy to sit and watch here. whenever you got on the ball, whenever Katie McCabe got on the ball, actually, it seemed you used it right. Like, geez, I think you got 3 really good possessions that drew 3 very cynical fouls. I think the first of them was, could easily have been a red card. It was a really dangerous tackle. Like, they seemed very aware of your ability. Do you look back and think, God, I could have gotten the ball more, or is it just the way a game like that goes? It's almost impossible to get yourself involved as much as you'd like.
Yeah, it is. It's tough, but I think we were just under so much pressure every time the back line got the ball. The midfield, there was two players on us, 3 players surrounding us. Their press was really, really good, and I think it was just we were under so much pressure that we just let the ball go right away. But in those games, obviously, I wish I could get on the ball a lot more, but there's only going to be very few chances where you get on the ball, and that's probably the counter attack, to be honest. That they leave themselves exposed, and I guess the few counters we got, tried to make the most out of it, but I did get fouled a lot every time I got on the ball. I think I probably got fouled, so I was a bit frustrated with that.
Frustrated, but also actually it's maybe the best thing for the team, because on a night like that, you got to play the opponent, and you got to slow it down when you get the opportunity. And if you need to take a minute for everybody to draw breath and take that free kick, a free kick could actually be worth more than just bringing it 20 yards down the field and having to stop and stall and look around and see if there a pass on, is there not. That actually having that ability to draw fouls on a night like that is massive.
Yeah, it was massive, and look, I took it for the team, and I didn't mind at all, because we actually got up the pitch we got that free kick from that one foul, so I didn't mind. Still trying to get on the ball in those games, and if I get fouled, then it is what it is. They're the kind of type of games that you're probably going to get fouled, and the few players that they will foul. But it was just so hard to get on the ball, honestly. As a midfielder in there, you're just man for man in there in the middle of the pitch, really. And as I said, their press high up the pitch was so quick, and that we couldn't really have possession of the ball. But it worked out for us in the end. I think the game plan really worked for us, just sitting in. And if you thought that first half was hard, the second half was, oh my goodness, it was so tough. One of the toughest games of my career, I would say.
How do you prepare for a game like that, and the preparation that you have, does it properly ready you for your match? Because you did have the Pinatar Cup where, talking to some of the players afterwards, it seemed Sweden was the focus of everything. All 3 matches was building up a system and a depth in the squad that would prepare you for Sweden. So with all of that, the good camp that you had this time as well, and a week's build up, does it adequately prepare you for what actually happens when you're on the pitch with, I think they had 10 Champions League starters in their starting 11?
I mean, the Pinatar Cup was really good preparation. It was good for us to be together for that whole 10 days. It was good to get minutes on the belt and give other players a chance also. But I think the level that Sweden are at right now and the form that they're in, it was so hard. The intensity of the game was so high. But look, I think we done really well as a team. Bear and staff set out a game plan, and we stuck to the game plan. I thought it was a very disciplined performance from us. And in the end, look, we got the point, and honestly kind of disappointed at the end of the game that we didn't come away with 3 points.
Yeah, there is always that balance when you lead for so long. You probably would have taken 1-1 before the game starts. What was that general mood afterwards? It seemed like it was euphoria, that there was a sense of, yes, like this was a landmark result for you as a team, from maybe a place against Ukraine where there was such disappointment a couple of years ago, to being able to produce a performance like that on the biggest stage. And also I think now as well, performing under a lot of expectation. Like the interest levels have grown to such an extent now around the team that Ireland expects. There's an expectation that you'll go no matter who you're playing and be able to get to a certain level. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the expectation is there now, and we're a growing team. We're doing very, very well. But yeah, before the game, if you said 1-1, we would have took it, definitely. That is a huge, and don't get me wrong, it's a huge result for us getting that point. But I think keeping them at 1-0 up to I think it was the 75th minute, and then conceding a goal. It was just it was definitely hard to take, but we were just under so much pressure, and they had a lot of chances, and really Courtney kept us in the game. So at the end I think it was relief that we came away with a point for sure.
We're seeing so much of Katie McCabe on our television screens now every week with the coverage of the WSL. I think there's a real appreciation of just how good she is and the level that she's got to. You've been playing together for years at this stage. Have you seen something different from her in the last couple of years? How have you seen her game develop?
Yeah, she's gotten so good. She's unbelievable, and I think overall her maturity levels have just. I think the best thing was for her to get the captaincy role. Honestly, it really changed her and how mature she's after becoming and how good of a leader she is to the team. And just watching her, I watch all her games if I can in the United States for Arsenal. So just watching her and perform week in, week out, I think she's the most consistent player for Arsenal for sure. She's after getting so good. She's a world-class player in my opinion.
She's absolutely no nonsense when it's game day, it seems.
No, she's very serious, and I wouldn't want to get in the wrong side of her on the pitch.
No, there's no messing there at all. In the pre-match interviews, the post-match interviews, you name it. I think she's been taking lessons from Seamus Coleman. It's very Seamus Coleman-esque. He's the exact same. It must be the same media training they're getting.
It must be. It definitely is. But yeah, she can be serious when she wants to be, and she can also be a great crack as well. But I'm really proud of Katie for what she's done over the past few years and the player that she has become. And I think we really know each other's roles on the pitch when we play together, and I think you can see that we do interact well on the pitch, and we link up good. So that's a good sign. I can't wait to keep playing with her for the foreseeable future anyway.
I made an attempt yesterday to explain the qualification process for the World Cup through the playoff system, which is incredibly convoluted. Are you thinking that far ahead? Have you looked at what is needed over the remaining games, the points totals, the matches that are coming up as to what exactly Ireland have to do over the next 3 games and beyond?
No, I haven't even looked at it, honestly. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. I think obviously getting that result against Sweden was absolutely huge, but we have 3 games coming up, and they're really, really difficult games. And the first game, obviously, the focus is now on Georgia. And we'll go there. It's not going to be an easy place to go and play. So I think I'm just focused on that game and what we can do there.
What about Finland? After what Barcelona have been doing and selling out the new camp, people are saying again, why not try for the Aviva Stadium? Is that an ambition, or does it feel too soon? Does it feel actually, a sold-out Tala in a stadium for a game of that importance might make everyone actually more comfortable than getting out of that and having to go to the Aviva suddenly for a match?
Yeah, I think, of course, as a player, you want to play in these big stadiums 100%, and someday I hope I do. And I'm sure the girls do as well, but I think it needs to be the right occasion. And I think you need to almost sell out the Aviva, honestly. Or at least get a really good crowd there, because I don't think it would be anything close to what we get and the energy that we get at Tala Stadium. I think first of all we should look to sell out Tala. That's just a priority for me. I would say I'd love to go there and fill that stadium up. And we know who our fans are. They come out every game. They're loud, and we're really proud when we play there. So for me, I would want to play in the Aviva at some stage, but I think first of all, I think we should try and sell out Tala Stadium before we even go to the Aviva.
I'm always almost wary of asking you about Kenny Shields' comments after the Northern Ireland game, and it's such a shame that seems to be what so many people are talking about over the last couple of days. What was your reaction when you heard them?
Yeah, I don't think it was a great comment, to be quite honest, to make. But I think his emotions were probably high also in that interview. But I do think it was a pretty poor comment to make about, scoring in that minute, because women's emotions. Yeah, I just don't think it was a very good comment. But I seen today that his players came out and they're backing him 100%. So, for me, it wasn't a great comment.
Yeah, it was absolutely nonsensical. So you're back playing this weekend. The season's underway. Where are you? Orlando, is it?
Yeah, I'm in Orlando now. So we play here Saturday. Yeah, we're still in the Challenge Cup, actually, pre-season tournament. We have 2 more games left, and then the playoffs, hopefully. And then our first league game is April 29th. So, yeah, it's been a crazy year so far. I feel like I've been just traveling the whole time. Yeah,
well, traveling and never out of the gym, going by the Instagram. So pre-season fitness, I don't think is going to be an issue.
No, I'm actually feeling pretty good. I think in the off season I did work I don't think I took a break, and that's not new. I don't really take breaks in the off season, but I did work very hard and was in the gym a lot. So I was really prepared coming into, probably more than ever, coming into pre-season this year, I think. And I do feel very fit right now and sharp. So hopefully that can continue.
Yeah, certainly showed it on Tuesday night as well, Denise. Great stuff, as always. Congratulations on the result. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you ahead of the Georgia game as well. But very best of luck with the rest of the campaign.
Thanks, Nathan. See ya.
Denise O'Sullivan there. All our football coverage brought to you by Sky. Don't miss Newcastle against Leicester on Super Sunday. It's live only on Sky Sports. And Rangers on the way to the semi-finals of the Europa League. 2-0 up on Braga, 2-1 in aggregate. West Ham 3-0 up away at Lyon, leading 4-1 in aggregate. And Barcelona 3-0 down at home against Eintracht Frankfurt, trailing 4-1 on aggregate. Leipzig already through, and Leicester City through to the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League. Up next, it's the quiz you've all been waiting for.
Football on Off the Ball.
With Sky. All the football you love in one place. Across Sky Sports, BT Sport and Premier Sports.
Screen Time.
This week on Screen Time, I talked to Sienna Miller, Rupert Friend and Michelle Dockery about their scan